Hello, my name is Bryce, and today I'm gonna talk to you a bit about a tree called a Hinoki cypress. Um, I was planning on doing this video um, out in the forest of where I live at. That's called Coleman Boundary, and that's in Barnardsville, North Carolina. Um, and there's a branch of this tree, at least since currently it's dark. That's why I'm filming inside my living room right now. But in the past of passing this row of trees, of however long I lived here, I never really paid attention until I've started school again this semester, taking biology and forestry, learning about different plants and such, and especially about a lot of different kinds of trees. Because most of you know, being in mountains of North Carolina, cypress is definitely not native, and you're not going to see one unless on campus, of course. That was planted there kind of on purpose for study reasons and such of forestry school. But in the past, I've kind of just thought maybe this is some type of pine or kind of even a type of redwood that may be planted. Because looking at these small acorns, they're kind of like some of the redwoods, such as Don redwood, which I've recently learned about. But also cypress acorns look like this too. Where I'm from and grew up in lower Alabama, we had native cypresses and all the rivers and creeks nearby and stuff. So to get on with it, I finally looked up what type of tree this is, and of everything I could find, it's called a Hinoki cypress, which they're only native in Japan, and it's a area called Formosa, Japan. So that was very interesting to kind of learn this is exactly the tree it is, and it's only native in Japan, and it's kind of used for Japanese architecture. After seeing some pictures of the wood, it's a very, very pretty wood, and maybe a different kind of topic but relating. Maybe try to plan on harvesting some of the Japanese cypress that fell down during Hurricane Helene out in the boundary. Maybe I can mill it and kind of use that for some furniture to maybe make in the future, because it's a really pretty kind of white wood, light wood, used in cutting boards, such like that. So that kind of neat to make something out of a tree that's from Japan, and it would look really pretty. But kind of get on more about this species. I try to do a lot of research and everything about maybe why this cypress was planted in Coleman Boundary, of being and kind of is definitely planted on purpose. Of probably there used to be 10 or so trees there planted in a straight line, and they're all fully mature, which is about 75 feet they get to when that's about their age they are. So my guess is when Coleman Boundary, or some people call it Big Ivy, became protected under the National Forest Service in the 1930s, being as part of Pisgah National Forest. Oops, sorry, I had to adjust myself. There used to be a forest ranger and such many, many years ago that lived out in Coleman Boundary. And if you've hiked or camped out there or anything, you've probably seen parts of existing houses and whatnot where a ranger would have lived at. So my guess is probably one of their foresters or forest rangers that lived actually out here probably planted the trees to maybe one day harvest them, or just like the look of it, because they're a very pretty tree. But I have a picture of a fully grown one here. You can see. Sadly, I'm not outside. Definitely when Coleman Boundaries back open, because of damage, you should definitely come check out the trails out here and try to see where these trees are actually at, because they're a very neat tree. So get on with that species. Probably talked long enough. Can talk all day about trees now, being in forestry. So found most of the species I've taken pictures of for the iNaturalist lab is most of them came from being out here in Coleman Boundary, of when I'm out on the trails hiking, or I used to trail run a lot and stuff, so I've kind of discovered all kinds of new and neat areas throughout here, and you kind of get to learn about all the native mushrooms. There's so many. Had an interest in mushrooms and start learning about them probably a couple years ago, and I still so much I don't know, and still learning. Kind of even anytime I'm out on a trail I've been on so many times, and I may see a new mushroom and such, or recognize a different kind of tree I've learned now and such. So that's pretty neat to find out all about the native and sometimes the non-native and invasive species that can be in your backyard and your local trails. And I've learned to take a moment while you're out in nature, and kind of just relax and observe everything around you, and kind of hear kind of sounds of nature, any birds or whatnot, or mammals around, and it's very neat and calming to see all the different types of species and plants and animals that are just around you, and how we're all connected throughout biology. So and so most of my pictures are taken of, mostly it's all native, and I've included the Japanese or Hinoki Cypress. Also, I forgot to say, it could be a false Hinoki Cypress as well. So that's what it can be called as well. I considered it as invasive because definitely it was, not to go into that again, but also like just different kinds of plants, mimosa, kudzu, that everybody probably knows about, that are just all invasive. Also included some species of crayfish that every time I'm out in a river or near a creek, especially if I'm camping near it at night. Sorry, this winter's getting to me. I love going out and try to find kind of the native crayfish that are around, and all the different types that can be in one pool and such. So I included a couple of photos of when I went, I think it was in September or so, on the Tortuga River down in kind of Long Creek, South Carolina. So a couple pictures of local crayfish that are in that river. I can't remember the names of them right now, but it's pretty fascinating. But and to wrap it up, going from there, speaking of crayfish, another species that is very interesting to me and kind of learning more is my wife recently, she used to be a freshwater biologist for the state, and she recently was named, crayfish was named after her that she found and discovered, I believe, in 2019. So it's a birch filli. I don't know the genus, but I don't have it in front of me. I'm better at trees, but that's something pretty cool and exciting too. That's part of my world and that in biology. But yep, I will call it on that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video and all my photos I've taken this semester. And thank you.